team is down here, 52-36 as we begin the second quarter, or rather the second half.
Well, I think one of the reasons for their very low shooting percentage in the first half is the fact that Red Bull players took a lot of bad shots. I thought their hindi magandang shot selections first half for the Red Bull club, and I think they'll have to try to correct that. You mentioned earlier, sabi mo kanina, they're number one in the league in assists, and that's something they're going to have to utilize here in the second half. Better ball movement, better shot selection. Because we were noting something at halftime, the spacing of Talking Text was extremely good in the first half. That's why the lane was so open.
You know, you look at this Red Bull team, the number one rebounding team, they're number one in assists. They can put up the points if they want to. But you get that feeling that they shoot themselves in the foot by turning the ball over too often.
Well, turning the ball over, and when you're number 9 in defense, that also means you're not really getting into it defensively.
Red Bull begins the second half with Nunti Valenzuela, Denver Lopez, Omanzi Rodriguez, Lordi Tugade, and Rico Villanueva.
That's going to be another turnover for Red Bull as, what would you call that, stepping out of bounds and stepping back in again by Nunti.
Illegal entry, I suppose.
Illegal entry.
The Phonepals start the third quarter with Jimmy, the Mighty Mouse, Alapag, Patrick Fran, Yancy De Ocampo, who had 16 points in the first half, Mark Telan, and Bong Ravena. And De Ocampo is not finished. He has 18.
Well, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And once again, no commitment from Red Bull to come down and help against Yancy. They probably are in disbelief that Yancy is scoring at will.
And this is now an 18-point lead for the Phonepals. Ito na ang kanilang pinakamalaking lamang sa ating ball game. Here's Alapag. Again, they go to De Ocampo. Cross court, Ravena. Talan, turn around. Rebound para kay Tugade. Two-man game coming up here. So the pass ends up with Villanueva, and he's fouled.
Well, the man of Enrico had to step over and help that time because the Talking Text teammate trapped the pick and roll. So in the rotation, that left Enrico open underneath the basket. Once again, I want all the fans out there who are watching this game to really notice the spacing of the Talking Text team offensively. It's one of the reasons why it's very difficult to help defensively. At least you have to really commit yourself and leave somebody open.
And you know, Talking Text is dominating this game despite the fact that Miller is struggling in this ball game. Miller scoreless tonight and it has gone 0 out of 6 from the field.
Well, this game has belonged to the two big guys, Mark Telan and Yancy De Ocampo.
Here's Lopez. Hand off for Valenzuela. Valenzuela on the move. Ball is with Villanueva. 6 to shoot for Red Bull. Tugade fires a 3. And it's Bong Ravena who grabs the rebound. Ravena with 5 rebounds in the game. Itong Talking Text, nagtatangkang kumuha ng isang 20-point lead dito sa second half. Yun na nga, ang ginawa ni Mark Clemens Talan.
Red Bull will also have to work on their pick and roll defense as a little bit of confusion there, leaving Mark Telan wide open for that shot. Nobody within 3 or 4 feet of him.
And Telan now with 13 points in the game. 20 puntos na ang abante ng Talking Text. Valenzuela slices through, handoff for Tugade.
Wait, Jimmy Alapag pushes that basketball up the court.
Soft touch by Telan. Too soft. At pinagkabangga doon si Tugade. That's a clear foul laban kay Telan.
And watch Yancy De Ocampo and Enrico. Something's going to happen here real soon. Those were not love taps. They were throwing that last time out. You see the referee. Well, you can't see it on your screen, but the referees are talking to the two of them.
Well, one must understand. Eh, kanina pa kasi nakakapuntos itong si Yancy De Ocampo against every big man assigned on him. Ese, Agapito, now Villanueva. So the Red Bull big men must be getting frustrated at this point. Here's Tugade, guarded by Fran. Pagpataka dito si Tugade, pinasa kay Rodriguez. Baseline jumper is good.
A good player movement that time, good ball movement by the Red Bull team. They're running a screen and screener offense.
16 points pa rin ang lamang ng Talking Text. Alapag trying to drive through.
Marunong talaga si Jimmy Alapag, as when he heard the whistle, he threw the basketball up there. He's going to get 2 shots out of this.
Denver Lopez is trying to make a case that no, he committed the foul much earlier.
It's obviously Coach Yengao. Layo. You can hear that all over the arena.
You know, Coach Yang, when he wants to send a message across, everyone will hear it. Even our televiewers will hear it.
We'll hear it, huh?
Jimmy Alapag. Played in the recent All-Star game. Pablo is back in action, as well as the struggling Willie Miller.
Well, if he's going to struggle, this is a good night to struggle because his teammates have certainly picked up the slack for him.
At balik sa 18 ang abante ng Talking Text. Red Bull has Lopez, Tugade, Rodriguez, Villanueva, and Valenzuela on the hard court. And this crew is trying to bring Red Bull back in the game with 8:36 to go in the third quarter. Valenzuela going baseline. Tumulong si Pablo. And Valenzuela stepped on the line, chalk up another turnover laban sa Red Bull.
What's happening out here is the guy guarding Omanzi is Victor Pablo. Victor Pablo is just leaving Omanzi and just helping defensively. That means that Omanzi is either going to have to make them pay, or Coach Yengao could have to try to find somebody who can put an offensive threat on the floor. As Jimmy Alapag, high pick and roll once again, Nico.
It's Villanueva. He won't score. A sorry miss, but Tugade is, oh no! That's hurt. He's trying to get back in the game, and you get easy looks. And your opponent almost scoring on an exciting alley-oop play. Meantime, here's Lopez. Tugade left open, wide open, and he can't connect. And now Alapag wants to push the ball. Alapag to Miller. 0 out of 6 from the field. Alapag. Ravena for 3. No. 21 points. Yan po ang lamang ng Talking Text. This is their biggest lead of the ball game.
So you know what Yengao is asking for right now. He's asking that shot to be counted. But the referees do not agree. Tit for tat.
Let's watch it again.
Well, because of the last play with Jimmy Alapag, Coach Yengao thinks that this should be continuation.
So that will be the first personal against Alapag, 13 foul against Talking Text.
And if you were to call the game consistently, maybe it should have been. But there were 2 different referees that made the call. So.
Red Bull has only scored 4 points in this third quarter. Not really making any headway. At sa katunayan, lalo pang lumaki itong kalamangan ng Talking Text. Only good thing going for Red Bull is that Miller has yet to get this game going. Pero napasa niya sa loob kay Bong Ravena.
That will not make Coach Yengao happy. 3 red shirts in the paint there that time, but they could not get the defensive rebound. Instead, it was Victor Pablo who grabbed the offensive rebound.
23 puntos na po ang abante ng Talking Text. Talagang tuluyan na silang lumalayo. And what is making things worse for Red Bull is that they're missing from point-blank range. Tugade, no. Villanueva, wala pa rin. And it ends up with Yancy De Ocampo. those misses are going to make a tired team even more tired.
And, you know, Yancey Duma-DUNK is playing a one-man defense in the middle, but let's face it, the Red Bull players are not taking their time. They're taking quick shots around the basket. That's why they're missing. Probably a foul, yeah.
Tough shot by Pablo. Rodriguez was all over him. Pangalawang personal para kay Omansi Rodriguez. At yan po ang pangalawang team foul laban sa Red Bull Barako.
Well, actually, when you look at the defensive talking text right now, Mark Talon sitting on the bench, so Yancey Duma-DUNK is really the only big man out there with Victor Pablo standing about 6'3". There's no reason to rush your shots. You might as well just take your time and go strong to the basket.
Bernardo is in the game. At si Villanueva ay uupo muna after missing some point-blank attempts.
You have to wonder, Miko, about the fact that Red Bull just played a game 2 days ago. They beat the Shell team, and could that have taken something out of it?
But, you know, in retrospect, Pocket Text just came from Ormo.
That's right. They just played out of town last Tuesday, so how do you explain it?
In that respect, lamang pa nga yung Red Bull dapat nun.
And they had to travel also.
And, you know, they had to play a FedEx team that loves to run.
Well, FedEx did not fare too well earlier today. They got into another running game with Santa Lucia and came out on the losing end. Are you telling me Ali Peak only weighs 240 pounds?
Maybe this was 3 years ago.
Give him at least 5 more pounds over top of that. Okay.
Finally, nakapuntos din si Willie Miller after missing his first 7 attempts in the game. And this is bad news for Red Bull.
Willie Miller, the number 3 scorer in the PBA, averaging over 18 points a game.
And Red Bull continues to miss. They normally shoot well from the field, especially when you look at their field goal numbers in the conference.
Actually, the two teams almost even as far as field goal percentages are concerned. What a big discrepancy there. Talking Tech with 50 points from their starters.
67-44, Talking Tech po ang lamang na lamang dito sa third quarter. Under 5 minutes to go in the period. Bola na kay Pablo. He lost that ball. It was batted away. At itong Red Bull, naghahanap ng paraan kung paano makakabalik sa ating ball game. Torion takes the 3. And their shooting woes continue dito sa Cuneta Astrodome.
And this might be the time that Red Bull might want to attack the basket, considering that Mark Talon and Yancey Duma-DUNK are sitting on the bench. When you think about it also, if there's one team that can stop Willie Miller, probably Red Bull. Players know him quite well.
Well, Red Bull trying to make headway here. In a quarter dominated so far by Talking Tech. Pablo shooting over Bernardo. Sumobra. Torion. Now he's going to wait for teammates here. Matched up against Belano. Goes to Valenzuela. Shoots over Miller. That still won't work. Boy, Talking Tech is looking good in this game. Going back to that report by Peter Martin at the top of the coverage, when he asked Ariel Vanguardia why they keep on winning, despite missing Asi Taulava. And going back to what Ariel Vanguardia said, that maybe other teams haven't figured them out. I mean, haven't figured out.
Like I said earlier, I can't agree with that because they're playing basketball. So if you know the game, you see what they're doing, but they're just doing it very well.
So what are they doing?
Well, right now they have a lot of confidence. I mean, they're playing good defense. They're forcing you into turnovers. They're turning those turnovers into turnover points. Their spacing is good offensively. Their 2 big guys have been scoring at will inside the paint. Red Bull has not committed to double teaming, at least not in the first half. And did Yancey open shots one-on-one against Agapito. He's probably going to have some success. That's been the case tonight, Nico.
Probably in this game you have a case of the Red Bulls going head first into a team that can really take advantage of their weaknesses.
That's correct. And if you look at the Talking Tech team, one of their reasons for success is the fact that they play both ends of the floor. A good block there by Omanzi. They play both ends of the floor. They're not only one of the top offensive teams in the league, but they also will defend you.
So may timeout po ang Talking Tech Phonepals. Sila po'y lamang 69-48, under 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Ayan ang starting ball game ngayon. He has yet to score since the first quarter. Gade with the rebound. Layo-layo pa itong hahabulin ng Red Bull Barako. Bola na kay Torion up against Belano. We're fast approaching the last 2 minutes of the third quarter. Torion pushing off Belano. And the ball's being battered around. It ends up with Bernardo. He gets blocked by Camacho. Bola na kay Ravena. Back pass for Miller. And Miller scoots in for the slam dunk.
A gentle slam dunk by Willie Miller. Nice pass coming from Bong Ravena.
21 puntos ang kalabangan ng Talking Tech Phonepals. They're looking for victory number 8 in the Philippine Cup, and nothing is going right for Red Bull. Pablo stops Belano, and Belano will set it up. Camacho takes the three. Off down. Minute and 22 to go in the third. It has, nothing has gotten here.
Fouled by your own man.
Baguio banging into Bernardo. Bernardo should have been called for a foul against his own teammate. Miller. And this time Baguio commits the foul. That's when you know nothing is going right. When you collide into your own teammate, who's twice your size.
Well, first of all, Baguio should have seen that he was standing right there in front of him, but he hit a brick wall that time. Just happened to be his own teammate.
Funny to mention that they're both from USC. The one growling tiger banging into another growling tiger. Problem is they're all playing for the same team in the PBA. Si Bernardo tatawagan ng foul his third.
Kanina, I was reading in the Diario comments of Coach Joel Banal. He was saying that he really wants to use as many players as possible because he knows the elimination round is a long haul, it's a long round. So, what a shot by Marcelo. And he can really sit on air, huh? Hesitate in the air for a second to get those shots off. Coach Joel Banal was saying that he really wants to use a lot of players to make sure down the stretch all of his players have confidence and they have fresh legs.
Well, mainly because Talking Tech's game plan relies that they utilize a lot of players.
Yes, they do like a fast-paced game. They like to run on every opportunity, so you really need to use at least 10 players to keep your guys fresh.
And a good thing about Talking Tech, a lot of the players that Joel Banal has fielded in have already scored.
Well, just the fact that Neil Coppo's sitting on the bench right now, you can see a lot of guys have contributed.
Baguio, bit out of control. Ball ends up with Torion. Eto na si Tugade. Pumihit. Top shot by Tugade. Talo na ng mga tao. Tugade, one more try. Wala pa rin. That is indicative of the kind of third quarter that Red Bull has had. They've gotten the look. They've gotten the chances. They could not convert. And Talking Tech just continues to pummel Red Bull Barako in this game.
And it's going to have to be a lot of adjustments for Red Bull in the fourth quarter if they're going to try to get back in this basketball game.
73-52 in favor of Talking Tech. We'll be back with the final quarter.